Greetings. This is Kevin Jefferson, creator of the Cash Flow Creation Club, father of the Forex Fam, and followmytrades.com, here with Trade Theory on gold and oil today. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my chart and share my screen here and share with you what I see as it relates to gold and oil. So this is the chart for gold right now versus the US dollar. This is the monthly chart. And as I've been saying for a while that, price has been trending downward. But it's at a point to where I believe it's ready to pull back. But what's going to happen before it pulls back? So I'm going to whittle down to the daily chart here, and I can see that price is actually off of a level one long here. And so what that means is, price is actually looking to go higher. But before it does, I think it has the opportunity to pivot one more time. And so if it does go lower, it may go as low as 1615.86. But when price is going down successfully like that, it has to retrace at some point, collect orders on the other side, and then regain the steam for whatever direction it wants to go. So I see that, gold has been trending downward, and maybe 1615.86 is where it kind of bottoms out and then eventually pulls back maybe as high as 1688.17 or even higher, and then may possibly reset and continue lower. So this is the weekly chart showing how prices kind of slowed down, starting to lose momentum here. And on the monthly chart, it looks like it wants to go, but before it does, it's got to pull back and then potentially continue down. It could actually come back up into consolidation and then move higher. But as it looks right now, I'm looking for just a retracement and then maybe a move lower with gold. So short-term prospects for gold is that it may fall a little bit lower, but then it may turn around on us in the near future. So WTI crude here, this is the monthly chart for WTI crude. So price had been dropping, but over the course of the last month, it's risen over the course of October. When we look at the weekly chart, I'd mentioned previously that price is closing in what's called a level one long. So technically, WTI crude is actually in an uptrend right now. So that means that you're looking for buying opportunities potentially, even though it's only a level one long. It's something to pay attention to because it does have the support of the moving averages here. So price could dip lower, and I've kind of spoken about that in previous videos. But in the near term, prices moved up into a level one long on the daily, and I would expect if it continues higher, to hit as high as 109.025. So what that looks like on the weekly chart is price getting all the way up here at 109.025. And then I had spoken previously about price getting as high as 126.530, which is way on into the future. That would take it to all-time highs. But there is a scenario for that as well. Looking at the market structure here, it definitely has the makings of price getting up to the 126.530 area at some point. Obviously not near term, but at some point in the future over the next year or so. But 109.025 is what the target would be off of this daily close right now, that we would expect maybe WTI crude to get to. Then it leads us to Brent crude, which mirrors. They look very similar, but they're not exactly the same. Brent crude is pulling back off of this downward movement that's happened over the last 4 months as well. And on the weekly chart, it has not achieved a new high. So what that means to me is, because I had spoken in a video that $100.81 was the price that we were looking at on the upside, and it still hasn't reached that point, but it also hasn't dropped either. So that means price has been consolidating and gearing up steam. And when I look at the daily chart, price is actually pulling back off of an uptrend. So it's been gaining steam and momentum to continue potentially higher in the coming days. And so that means to me that price will probably push well above $100.81, maybe up to the 103.505 area, which I have marked out here, or somewhere in between, or maybe even higher. And so what happens when that occurs? We had initial price points of 111, 176, and then in between there, 115, 213, which is the daily price that I see on here. 115, 213 is kind of the next stopping point, and then 122, 427, and then ultimately 129, 119, which gets back up to all-time highs as well. But the market structure is here for that to happen. So would not be surprised if that happens as well. So there's a legitimate case for both sides, but this has support of historical moving averages supporting it as well. So oil may actually be poised to move higher as well, while gold is looking to drop at least temporarily before potentially maybe reversing and going higher on us, but we have to just watch it. So everything is looking like it, it wants to kind of, take a bounce. Everything is tired of falling, I guess. But the mindful thing to kind of operate with is it doesn't really matter which direction the market is going, as long as you know how to take advantage of when it does do that. And so that's what we do with the Cash Flow Creation Club, using my skills to help business owners and entrepreneurs cut the frustrations associated with being in business, by doubling their cash flow every year without adding employees or overhead or a lot of what I call the BS of being in business. And so we want to help you free up your time and flexibility and build cash flow along the way, which gives you even more flexibility with the things you want to do. Find us at fmtrades.com. We're actually in our open enrollment period right now. We actually accept applications, and then we interview and discuss with owners and entrepreneurs what their goals are and how they believe that they could be a good connection and a new addition to our Cash Flow Creation Club before we ever get started. So go to fmtrades.com, click the DFI button. You've got about 30 days left, I think, as of today, or somewhere around there, 31, 32 days before we close open enrollment, and won't open it up again at least until next year. So if you want to build cash flow and you want to not be so concerned about what's happening out here in the business world, and without knowing that you can generate the kind of money that you need to, find us at fmtrades.com, and we'll talk about it. All right. Until next time, enjoy the day and happy trading.